Okay. Spiritual life means release from this botheration and misery. Those who are intelligent, therefore, do not try to elevate themselves to any planet of this material world. Men are trying to reach the moon, and although it is very difficult to gain entrance to that planet, if we do again entrance, the period of our lives will be enhanced. Of course, that does not imply that does not apply to life in this body. If we were to enter the moon with this body, instant death would be certain. When one enters into a planetary system, he must have a suitable body for that planet. Every planet is inhabited by living entities with bodies suitable for that planet. For instance, we can enter the water in this body, but we cannot live there. We may stay there 15 or 16 hours or maybe 24 hours, but that's all. Aquatic animals, however, have particular bodies suitable for living their whole lives in water. Similarly, if one takes a fish out of water and puts it on the land, it will die instantly. As we understand that even on this planet there are different kinds of body for living in particular places. So similarly, if we want to enter another planet, we have to prepare ourselves to get a suitable body. If one transfers himself and his soul transmigrates to the moon, by this yogic process, he gets a long duration of life. On the higher planets, a sixth of our months is equal to 1 days. Thus, the beings there live for 10,000 years. That is the description in the Vedic literature. So, undoubtedly, one can get a very long duration of life, but still there is a death. After 10,000 or 20,000 years, or even after millions of years, doesn't matter, death comes. Actually, we are not subject to death. That is affirmed in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. We are a spirit soul and therefore we are eternal. Why then should we subject ourselves to death and birth? It is intelligent to think in this way. Those who are Krishna consciousness are very intelligent because they are not interested in getting promotion to any planet where there is a death despite a long duration of life there. Rather, they want to get a body like gods. Ishvara Param Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Brahma Samhita. God body is Sachidananda. Sat means eternal and Chit means full of knowledge. Anand means full of pleasure. As stated in our pamphlet, Krishna, the reservoir of all pleasure, if we transfer ourselves to the spiritual world, to Krishna planet or to any other spiritual planet, then we will get a body similar to God, Sachidanand, eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. So those who are trying to be Krishna consciousness have different aim of life than those who are trying to promote themselves to the better planets in the material world. Lord Krishna says, मूर्धनि अध्यात् मनहापरणम अस्थितो yoga dharanam. The perfection of yoga is to transfer oneself to the spiritual world. The spirit soul is a minor particle within the body. We cannot see it. One practices the yoga system to raise the soul to the topmost part of the head. This practice goes on while one is living, and the perfection is reached when one can place himself on the top of the head and then break through. Then he can transfer himself to whatever higher planets he likes. That is the perfection of the yogi. If the yogi is inquisitive to see the moon, he can say, "Ah, let me see what the moon is like. Then I shall transfer myself to higher planets." Just like travelers who go to Europe, California, Canada, or other countries on Earth, one can transfer oneself to many planets of this yoga system by this yoga system. But anywhere he goes, he will find visa system and custom system. To go to other planets, one must be qualified. Krishna consciousness person are not interested in any temporary planet, even if it is offer a long duration of life. If the yogi at the time of death can pronounce Om, the concise form of the transcendental vibration, at the same time Ma Manushmaran, remember Krishna, Vishnu, he will attain perfection. The purpose of the entire yoga system is to concentrate the mind on Vishnu. Impersonalists imagine that they see the form of Vishnu or the Lord, but those who are personalists do not imagine this. They actually see the form of Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Either way, if one concentrates his mind through imagination or if one actually sees, one has to concentrate his mind on the Vishnu form. Ma means onto the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Anyone who leaves this body and concentrates his mind on Vishnu enters into the spiritual kingdom after quitting this body. Those who are actually yogis do not desire to enter any other planet because they know that the life is temporary. On the temporary planet, thus they are not interested, that is intelligence. Those who are satisfied with temporary happiness, temporary life, and temporary facility are not intelligent according to Bhagavad Gita. Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpademadesham. One whose brain substance is very meager is interested in temporary things. That is the version of Srimad Bhagavata Gita. I am eternal, so why should I be interested in non-permanent things? Who wants who want non-permanent existence? No one wants it. If we are living in an apartment and the landlord asks us to vacate, we are sorry, but we are not sorry if we move to a better apartment. This then is our inclination. This is our inclination. We do not wish to die because we are eternal. The material atmosphere is robbing us of our eternity. The Srimad Bhagavatam say our duration of life is being diminished by the sun, beginning from its rising until the time it set. Daily we are losing the duration of our lives. If the sun rises at 5:30 in the morning, at 5:30 in the evening, 12 hours have been taken away from the duration of our lives. We will never get this time back. If you ask any scientist, I will give you $12 million, please give me back these 12 hours, he will reply, no, it is not possible. The scientists cannot do, therefore, the Bhagavatam says that from sunrise to sunset, the duration of one hour life is being diminished. Time is called Kala, past, present, and future. What is now present, tomorrow will be past. And what is now future, tomorrow will be present. But this past, present, and future are the past, present, future of the body. We do not belong to the category of past, present, future. We belong to the category of eternity. Therefore, one should be concerned with how to attain or how to elevate it to the platform of eternity. The developed consciousness of the human being should be utilized not in the animal propensity of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, but in search out the valuable path which will help him to get the life of eternity. It is said that when the sun is taking away of our duration of life, every minute, every hour, every day, but if we engage ourselves in the topics of Uttam Shloka, the topics of the Lord, that time cannot be taken away. The time one devotes in Krishna consciousness temple cannot be taken away. It is an asset, plus, not minus. The duration of life, so far as body is concerned, may be taken. However, one tries to keep it intact. No one can do it. But the spiritual education we receive in Krishna consciousness cannot be taken away by the sun. It becomes a solid asset. Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare is a very easy thing to do. Time spent chanting cannot be taken away like a time pertaining to the body. 50 years ago I was a young man, but that time has been taken away, cannot be returned. The spiritual knowledge I received from my spiritual master, however, cannot be taken away, but will go with me even after my even after I quit this body. It will go with me, and if it is perfect in this life, then it will take me to the eternal abode. Both the material and spiritual worlds belong to the Krishna. Both the material and spiritual worlds belong to Krishna. We are not proprietor of anything. It is all the property of the Supreme Lord. Just as everything in the state belongs to the government, either in the prison house or outside the prison house. Conditional life is just like the life in a prison house in this material world. A prisoner cannot freely change from one cell to another. In a free life, one can go from one home to another home, but in prison life, one cannot do that but must stay in the cell. All these planets are like cells. We are trying to go to the moon, but it is not practical by mechanical means. Whether we are American, Indian, Chinese, or Russians, we have been given this planet to live on. We cannot live, although there are millions and billions of planets, and although we have machines by which we can, because we are conditioned by the law of nature. God's law, a man who is put into a certain cell cannot change at will without superior authority. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, a man who is put into certain cell cannot change his will. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that one should not try to change from one cell to another. That will not make anyone happy. If a prisoner thinks, I am in this cell, let me request the warden to change my cell, I will be happy. This is the mistaken idea. One cannot be happy so long he is within the prison wall. We are trying to be happy by changing cells from capitalism to communism. The aim should be to become free from this ism and that ism. One has to change completely from ism or materialism. Then he can become happy. That is the program of Krishna consciousness. We are taking advice from the Supreme Person. He says, my dear Arjuna, you may be elevated to the higher planetary system, which is called Brahmlok, and is desirable because life there is very long. We cannot calculate even a half day there. It is beyond our mathematical calculation. But even in Brahmlok, there is a death. Therefore, Krishna says, do not waste your time be trying to elevate yourself or transfer yourself from this planet to that planet. The people I have seen in America are very restless. They go from one apartment to another apartment or from one country to another country. That restlessness is there because we are searching after our real home. To go from this place to that place will not give eternal life. Eternal life is with Krishna, therefore Krishna says everything belongs to me, and I have the super excellent abode which is called Golok Vrindavan. If one wants to go there, he must simply become a Krishna conscious and try to understand how Krishna appears and disappears, what his constitutional position is, what our constitutional position is, what our relationship with him, how to live. Simply try to understand this idea scientifically. Everything in Krishna consciousness is scientific. It is not bogus, whimsical, sentimental, fanatical, or imaginary. It is a truth fact, reality. One must understand Krishna in truth. We have to give up this body willingly or unwillingly. The day will come when we will have to submit to the law of nature and give up this body. Even President Kennedy, in his possession, had to submit to nature's law and change his body for another body. He could not say, oh, I am President, I am Mr. Kennedy, I cannot do that. He was forced to do so. That is the way the nature works. The purpose of our developed human consciousness is to understand how nature works. Okay, aside from human consciousness, there is a consciousness in rocks, cats, worms, trees, birds, beasts, and all other species. But we are not meant to live in that consciousness. The Srimad Bhagavatam says that after many births, we have attained the human form of body. Now we should not misuse it. Please utilize this human life to develop Krishna consciousness and be happy. Be happy, yes. This is the glossary, okay. So it is short glossary I am going to read. Okay. Apara Prakriti, the inferior material energy. Astanga Yoga, the materialistic art of controlling the airs of the body for transfer to any planet desired. Avidya means niche science. Bhagavan, the opulent one, the living being who is the fountainhead of all energies. Bhakti Yoga means loving devotion service to the Krishna, the activity of superior energy. Bhava, the attachment states to the prior love of Godhead. Brahma, the first living being in the created material world, the presiding deity of this universe. Brahman, effulgence emanating from the transcendental body of Lord Krishna. Brahmjyoti, the spiritual bodily effulgence of Krishna. Brahmapada, one occupation of the post of Brahma. Brahmarandra, hole in the topmost part of the skull. By lifting the vital force to the Brahmarandra, a yogi can leave the gross and subtle bodies and reach the transcendental Vaikuntha planets. Dhumaka, dark moonless fortnight night. Those who die during this opportune period for death may rise up to higher planets, only to return again after death to the earthly planets. Moonless fortnight night. Gunas, three modes of nature, as we know. Hare, a form of addressing or the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or we can say the energy of the Lord. Jiva, the living spirit or vital forces. Kala means eternal time. Para Prakriti, superior form of energy which creates the unmaterial world. Paravyom, the variegated spiritual planetary system which comprises the major three-fourth part of the Supreme Lord's creative energy. Paravyom, also called Vaikunthlok. Pitas, bygone forefathers. Pratihara, the process of closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head. Fixing the mind on the earth, okay, and the life air at the top of the head. Life air. Thus establishing oneself in yoga. Rajas, the material mode of passion. Sanatan means eternal, that which has neither beginning nor end. Sanatan Dharma, the eternal nature, the anti-material sky beyond the material universe. Sanatan Dharma, the external nature of the living being to render service. Sankhyas, speculators or who synchronize the material principle with minute analysis and synthesis. Sattva, the material modes of goodness. Satyalok has been all known that the topmost planet of the material world, also called Brahmalok. Siddhalok, planet of materially perfected beings who have full capacity to control gravity, space, time. Siddhalok. Somarasa, a celestial beverage drunk on the moon. Tamas, the material modes of ignorance. Uttarayana, period when the sun passes towards the northern side, in which the deities of fire and flames control the atmosphere, the opportune time for persons who have realized the transcendent to leave their material body and reach the anti-material world, in which the deities of the fire and flames control the atmosphere. Okay, the opportune time. Okay. I continue. Vankhuta log. Paravyom means Vankhuta log. Vibhuti Bhinnam specify variegated endowment by which each planet has its own atmosphere, making bodily or psychological change necessary for the organism of one planet to adapt a life on the other planet. Vishnu Murti, the form of Vishnu. Okay, it's completed. Now going to index. Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.